This is ITV.
I be Oyibo princess and you don't talk the matter with ITV. Mike and I no touch am.
Certainly the best.
Good day, viewers. You're welcome to another episode of The Current. And you can always be assured that The Current brings to you current information that you need to know that will help your information and help you gather a stand in the country. On today's episode, we will be talking about the call for restructuring in the Nigerian situation. There have been several calls for restructuring of the system of this country, and probably and most likely we hope that the federal government consider this call. Just some days back, IBB, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, called for this restructuring as well. Fani Kayode supported by commending his bold step to do that. So we'll have a guest in the house who will be dwelling on this issue and much more later. We'll open the phone lines so you could talk to us. And things I like to do is to get you to air your views on this program. I want you to be able to express what you need. We are Nigerians, and whatever affects one affects all. So we are part of the system. We are part of the system to either make it work or to destroy it. So moving forward, I'll take a short break. And when I come back, I will introduce my guest to you. Don't go away. In case you're just joining us, this is The Current, and you're welcome. I'm your host, Frida Okiria, and it's nice to have you watching right now. I have a guest in the house who will be talking about our topic of today, the restructuring of our nation. There have been so many actions, counter-reactions against this particular issue. We are looking at the unity of the country, so many divisions, so many worries. So many Biafra, Arewa youths, you know, we've been talking, we dwelled on Arewa youths issues for 2 weeks, and today we want to see what's the way forward. Is restructuring the way forward? Is adopting the confab resolution the way forward? Whatever it is, we want to know the minds of Nigerians as well. That's you. We want to know your minds as well as we want to know what it takes. My guest in the house is a frequent guest on this program, Honorable Ebenezer Oyetakinsa. You're welcome to this program.
Thank you. Thank you, viewers.
Now, what do you have to say about the call for restructuring?
I am not against restructuring, but sometimes some certain things are expedient, but they are not necessary. At another time, some certain things are necessary, but they are not expedient. I happen to be given birth to at the front of Atlantic Ocean in Ascravos, where you can see the beauty of the sea. Sometimes the sea becomes so violent, and sometimes it becomes so calm. Then the Yoruba people say, Okun kokin woruru ka waruru, meaning that when the sea is violent, you don't violently ride your boat into it. That is the state Nigeria is today. And that is why some of the people that are calling for the restructuring, they are suspect. Another people are doing it out of their genuine intention to see the workability of the corporate existence of Nigeria. And another group of people are doing it by, when they watch and see that 7 people are calling for restructuring and 2 people are resisting, they want to make a political capital out of it, maybe because they have a presidential ambition. They said restructuring. But then you ask yourself, these people have been in power for more than 8 years. They have been in position of president, vice president, and what have you. Those periods, the nation had never witnessed this kind of a security challenges and discordant voice that is attempting to tear us apart. Those periods, we had not been challenged by undeclared civil war. Yet the civil war, the war of terror was, imposed on us ferociously to the extent that it almost consumed a whole region out of the 6 geopolitical regions we have. Now you come to fall back on it to say, Obasanjo summoned a political conference at the periphery of his exit when he was actually also navigating to see if he can have a tenure elongation. Then you ask yourself, are these people very serious about restructuring? Then again, at the periphery of I will win election, I may not win election, and the rest of it, Goodluck Jonathan also called a political conference. All of these conferences, where are their packages? Were they done with genuine intention to restructure Nigeria? Yes, like I said, I favor restructuring. But we must know the character of the restructuring that we want to do. We must be able to define it, and we must also know when it is conducive to hold such act of restructuring. If you ask me, right now, we can even carry out restructuring without necessarily amalgamating another level of conference. We have National Assembly in place, 2-phase, what do you call it, House of Rep, Senator. We have House of Assemblies all over the state of the Federation. These are the representatives of the people. So if we want restructuring, we can begin to identify the abnormalities that are embedded in our constitution that is probably distracting us from moving at the speed we want to move, and begin to amend it. This is what these people are elected to do. Now, apart from this, if there are elements in the former conferences that were held that the National Assembly in their wisdom can examine, and the executive can also examine, so that through it we can do some amendment here and amendment here and that kind of a thing. But if the restructuring people are talking about is, let's go back to what we used to be, I think it might be a little bit difficult, because nothing stopped the states from functioning, nothing stopped the local government from functioning, and nothing stopped the executive arm of government, the legislature and judiciary from functioning. What we have in Nigeria today that is challenging me and you and every other person, upon which political mischief makers are riding upon to call for restructuring, as if restructuring alone will solve all our problems, is that there is a rot in the system, a rot that is unleashed upon us by corruption, act of outrageous corruption that has developed into organized crime. That corruption is the one that has breeded rots, so that every angle of our public services are dysfunctioning, from the educational level to service providers and things of that nature. Everything are dislocated, and the rot in the system is the call for restructuring is a fume from the collective rot that we are
Honorable
experiencing.
Yetake, I really don't want you to be political about this. The reason why is, look at the system, look at what we have. There's Biafra, there's Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram has not stopped bombing, You know, there's so much disunity in the system. Now, looking at the system that is so porous, there could be anything, just like we said last week when I had Alhaji Tijani. I said this is exactly what happened when the Arewa youth called gave them ultimatum to leave the north. This is exactly what happened that triggered the civil war. Do we want a repetition? Now, let's address the issue. If call for restructuring is what we need, there was a confab, a confederation, you call it political. No, yes, I don't want us to be political about it. I want us to look at it.
Political conference, yes.
I want us to look at it.
Even the restructuring they are calling for political conference to dialogue on the restructuring.
I want us to look at. I want us to look at this issue critically. Don't you think that is what we need at this time, owing to the fact that we have too many disagreements? Too many disagreements.
The disagreements you are having right now are selfish. They are politically motivated, and honestly, they have no concrete interest of the Nigerian nation in their heart. Because even the man that is heading IPOB and some of his lieutenants that I personally know as a friend, they work vigorously for Jonathan and PDP. So, if Jonathan has been the president, will the call be this hype from them? Will they be doing what they are doing? We must call spade the spade. Now, the Arewa, like I explained a week ago here, that is giving quit notice to them. We're only responding because throughout the broadcast of the Arewa, they never mentioned the Yoruba nation, but the Yoruba nation is part of the Nigerian Federation. And we have multi-ethnic and the rest of it. All of these things spring from the fact that we have refused to build a nation. We have refused to be responsible in political leadership and entrusted political positions that we had. Many of us that were given contract to build roads, we bought cars and we built hotels and we abandoned roads. This thing happened around the whole country. So the people are bearing the brunt of, of indiscipline that we imposed upon ourselves. If there is anything, first of all, we must do, it is to reculture ourselves on how to build a nation. We must do attitudinal restructuring first. We must embrace the spirit of statesmanship. The spirit of statesmanship that did not leave your children on the street because you cannot train them. A spirit of statesmanship that know that the people are the most important element of nations building. And whether they are from Obiobio, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Kalabari, you must give them a foundation that will enable them to develop into total person that can build a nation. So, if you do not do that, just like a parent that refuses to train their children, your children will become a liability to you. So, many people have become a liability to nation. Even some people that have served this country as a president and vice president, they have become a liability to the nation because out of it, they stole more than what they're supposed to have. When you stole what belongs to, when you stole 10 billion, hundreds of billions, out of the collective wealth of the people, you have thrown some 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, and this thing happen daily. So we are a victim of a dysfunctional system created and generated by our corruption. So let us first of all deal with our attitude. Even the people that are advocating, some of them have never reached the north. They have their base in Lagos, and they are giving Igbo people in the north quit notice and the rest of it. They romance with all the corrupt elements. This is not how to do something. The federal government, as we have it today, must stand on their feet and understand that anything that threatens national sovereignty is a crime. And a crime of treasonable felony is not a crime to be tolerated by anybody. No responsible nation on earth will do that, not even United States with all their democratic credentials.
I'll take one last question before I open the phone lines. Don't you think it's necessary? The federal government, okay, the president is a father to all, not a father to the north.
Yes.
Don't you think it's necessary, since the Biafra had been agitating and they had been doing a peaceful agitation, don't you think it's necessary for him to call them, to dialogue with them? You know, we had issues with our oil when the Niger Delta were bombing pipelines, and there was a negotiation with them, and you can notice that there's a peace in that region. Don't you think that's what they should do?
You see, the federal government has not shied from negotiating. Recently, the vice president met with various level of people at that level, and it is all towards all of this. There are some certain people that negotiations will not get them to think uprightly the way they ought to think, or do things the right way they need to do it. Because if you are greedy and you can never be satisfied, no matter negotiations, you will turn yourself to Oliver Twist. For example, I am from Niger Delta. If you doubt it, I am qualified to hold any position in Niger Delta, and the rest of it, yes, I am in Niger Delta. I meant every bit of it. Now, having said that, we demanded, we agitated. The government considered our agitation. They gave us NDDC. Once upon a time, it was what was the name it used to be called? Then they gave us Niger Delta Ministry, and they gave us 13% derivation. But all of this never solved our problem, because why? Some opportunistic few feed fat on all of these things without putting any structure on the ground to address those issues that are making us to agitate. Therefore, even if you decided to regionalize Nigeria today and put 5 states of this region under this and the rest of it, God forbid, if you still have people that cannot pass the test of lunatism as a leader, we will continue.
Did you call it lunatism?
Test of lunatism. You see, Dr. Dora Kiwile says we should begin to take some of our leaders for a psychiatric test. Because if you take people to make such people their leaders, challenges that we throw up, some people will eat each other flesh. So we are better together as one. We should maintain the status quo of the Nigerian unity, and whatever is good enough for us to re-navigate. Yes, restructuring does not mean that you pull down the entire house. Whatever you need to decorate part of the houses at any given times, we have the structure in place that can do it. We have the National Assembly in place. We have the State Assembly. They have the authority of the people to amend the Constitution and give it a new vent and that kind of a thing. So, and we will continue to talk. They will continue to talk to one another in order, but our focus in our talk and our agenda for restructuring to make Nigeria work must essentially be focused on preserving the national integrity and unity of this nation. We've
been talking restructuring in the last few minutes. Now, what is this restructuring? What areas do you think the country needs to experience a restructuring? Like some of the CONFAP recommendation, and states will be monotonous. They will stand on their own. They'll have their own police and all that. Those are the fears, and they'll have their own powers. So what do you think? What do you really understand by restructuring? I want our viewers out there to understand what we are saying.
Yes. Some people felt the restructurings are segmental. Some people felt that we can have a regional government. Some people even think that we should do away with state structure and have regional government that deals directly with local government. I have seen a position paper on that. And some people, their element of restructuring is decentralizing the security, particularly the police and that kind of a thing. There is nothing wrong in having community police, metropolitan police, state police, and things of that nature. But a structure that will preserve such things must be done, taking into consideration our own character as a people. Our own character as a people, and winner takes it all. and the gross indiscipline that is embedded in some of our people. All of this must be taken into consideration when we are contemplating the restructuring of Nigeria, so that no one take undue advantage of that and the rest of it. For example, the Boko Haram we have just survived is not just a Nigerian thing. There are external forces that are paying some people, including some of your former retired presidents and political office holder. There are external forces that are paying them and saying, we want to see Nigeria disintegrated. This is very true. Sir, because I'm not a man of this office.
We'll take a short break. So, this is not I don't want us to address this politically. We'll take a short break, and when we come, we'll put up the phone line so you could start calling in. Don't
What is your vision for your child? A sound structured academic background, a one-time trial for university admissions, a gateway to success and career exploits? Then Kingsville School is your best bet. With a track record average of 96% success in West African Examination Council in 5 years. 100% success in the 2015 WAEC examinations. Best result in Abuja in Cambridge Advanced Level Examination in 2014. And now, offering university foundation programs, Kingsville Schools has got all it takes to bring out the best potentials from your child. With air-conditioned classrooms and hostel accommodations, fully equipped library and laboratory facilities, adequate sporting and recreational facilities, a sound curriculum run by seasoned lecturers, we give your child the best of learning in a serene environment. For inquiries on admissions, contact us at plot 1456 Jahi Cadastral Zone, Abuja. Visit our website or call any of our numbers scrolling on your screen. Kingsville Schools, building tomorrow's leaders today.
If you're just joining us, this is The Current, and we're talking about the restructuring of Nigeria. Now it's a time to place your calls. We will place the phone numbers on the screen, just as you can see right now. You can start calling in to contribute on what we've been talking about. We have less than 5 minutes to do this call. So if you have anything to say, you can just put it through right now. You could start calling in to contribute. There have been, just as I said earlier, there have been several reactions and counter-reactions to the restructuring of Nigeria. So we want to know what your views are. We'll take this call. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jibril Suleiman, Malamawa.
Okay, from Adamawa.
Malamawa.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the central area.
Okay, fine. What's your contribution to what we are saying?
My contribution, I think, what the honorable member said about community police. We are not disciplined in Nigeria. I think it's not needed. And Nigerian problem is our governors and the judiciary and the senators and members. That is the Nigerian problem.
It's all right. Thank you very much.
Yes, that is my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Colin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's take another call. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think that was, Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Sorry? Can you turn down the volume of your TV set?
My name was Okay?
I can hardly hear you. Take that again.
My name is Satrachi.
Okay.
What really Satrachi?
Okay. Continue.
I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, fine. Continue.
Yeah, you see, what the honorable gentleman is saying there, I think is absolutely right on the situation in the country today. And what I know concerning what is happening in the trend of the situation in the country today is nothing but religion and ethnicity. This is the major problem we have in this country today. When we do away with religion, we do away with ethnicity, I bet you this country is a good country for everybody we stay in and enjoy whatsoever we have in this country. People will not want to go outside the country, outside the shore of the country, to begin to look for greener pasture. Whatever they have there abroad, we have there here in Nigeria. So our problem here is nothing but religion and ethnicity. We should do away with all everything concerning religion, ethnicity, then I bet you Nigeria will be a better place for all of us. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. I think Honorable Oyetakin also was nodding. Hello? Hello? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Speak, we can hear you.
Yeah?
We can hear you.
My name is Obun.
Okay. Speak on.
My name is Obun.
I can hear you. Continue. I think the network for him was bad. Let's take a last call.
Hello?
Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Mr. Bola, calling from Nasarawa State.
Okay, Mr. Agbola.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, speak on. What's your take on what we have been talking about?
Agbola from Nasarawa State.
Yes, continue. I heard that.
Agbola from Nasarawa State.
I
Speak,
heard
we can hear you.
Continue.
Okay, see, concerning the restructure, let Nigeria just allow every zone or every state have their own, hope their own resources, control their resources. Make that, everything is restructuring. Let's have control of each country and each state resources. And that's what you really pillar for that restructuring. Yes, that one is done. Restructure is people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we'll take this last call. Hello? Hello? We are really out of time. There are so many calls coming in.
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name? And where are you calling from?
Hello?
Speak.
I don't think we can take more calls. Thank you very much for calling in. We really do appreciate it was a good discussion. I think we had people saying we want to be independent. This is what the federal government should do. Just like you said, meet up with the people involved from different ethnicity and region. Let us have a common, let the winner, let them vote, and let the winner take it.
Was you listening to the other man that said, he was saying in one word that our problem is much more of leadership ineptitude and indiscipline rather than structural deficiency.
When structure is in place, then the states can go and be fighting their battles. Thank you so much for joining us, and Honorable Oyetakin, we are grateful for always being available anytime we call. Thank you, my viewers and everyone that called in. I remain your humble host, Frida Okera. Thank you, and till I come your way next week, bye.
This is ITV.
Hey, it's your girl Omonyo Boli, Nollywood actress and filmmaker. You're watching ITV Nigeria. You know how we do it, people. Don't touch that dial.
Certainly the best.
mother is a lot of work. Being a caring mother is a daily task. To have a healthy mother and child, you need all the help you can get. Whatever your health concern is, a mother or child, join us on Mother Care on this station at this time. Because we always say, being a mom, it's the best job in the world.
This is ITV. Certainly the best.